Så, vi ska glida in här och kolla läget. Chemical and pine trees. Aroma of spices, alcohol, tomato hangs in the air. Okej, okay, grymt. Fan, känner vi pengar här in? Kan vi komma till andra rum? Oh. Där är bara min police officer-kollega. Händer ingenting där. Ja, pratar vi med kocken då. Förr eller senare. Autosave. Nej. Fick jag inte prata med honom. Det blev en autosave istället.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust.
Tjena Marcus!
Occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook.
De ska passa sig för mig. Jag har en smutsig, svettig tanktop. Jag har uteliggarvantar, jag har en soppåse som jag samlar skräp i och jag går omkring med en kofot. Folk ska respektera mig.
As you step in, he nods
to the
table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garancy and Quebec. Okay.
Hur är läget då, Marcus?
Whatever you do, please don't call him Garancy Quebec. Please.
It's not funny. I have... Okay, Garancy. Okay.
The man puts his cup down and replies something. His left hand drawing arcs in the air.
You got some impressive pots there.
He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn.
Oh, tack. Det är bra ändå, får jag säga.
It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted
spelar det här genialiska dialogspelet. Hobocop!
Technically, you wouldn't be a cop anymore, but a hobo. That would mean game over for the cop chapter of your adventures. But who knows where the hobo part takes you? To the bar, the old l'Assommoir, to the pier or the sewers, to Le Royaume, where for 300 years they interred the dead. You could plunder royalist crypts for long-forgotten triple malt bourbon, then fight the Arden-Macan beast that lurks the bottommost sepulchres. The secrets of the city are all yours at last.
At last. Reveals extra special collector's edition tear bottles on the map. More money from selling tear. Jag vet inte vad tear är. Learning cap for shivers raised to 6. Hobocop. Nu har vi lärt oss alla de här tre. Och det är det... om man kollar då egentligen så är det ju... Den där feministen där som tog bort electrochemistry. Medan Gullimer... Ja.
You see a heavy steel door.
Åh, det här nu kommer jag att ta skada.
You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery.
Touch the door.
The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door.
Det är ett fantastiskt skrivet spel där, får jag säga. Stundtals är det så humoristiskt brutalt.
The door does not budge.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
I'm drawn to its cobalt blue. I want to know out of duty. Okay, we tar.
It is quite pretty. I suppose we could look into it as a side investigation.
Nu är han dryg igen. No, the door is a mega investigation.
Hardly. Anyway, Gart is the person to ask about this.
Secret pass.
Manager.
Anyway, Gart is the person to ask about. Okej. Nu ska vi störa bartendern igen, som inte är en bartender.
Can I help you?
Nej.
Another thing. Great.
Blue steel door.
Oh yes, that door. Sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
Do you know what is behind it?
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frit warehouse, probably.
Jaså?
Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
I think you like to know what's back there.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias.
Yes, it does.
So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that. Yes?
Okej. Interesting. Då drar vi härifrån då. Nu ska vi äntligen kolla kylfrysen, rök med 2K i mat och allt det skit om på det. Ja, men det är som alla numera. Kallas världen.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid as a padlock.
Open the padlock
with a
really quick.
well-oiled crack. The lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply.
Han vill
raise the
bara
lid.
ha sin skräp. Så är det. Ytterligare ett sak bara och som irriterar eller tar fokus ifrån en.
Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. Of course you should. This is your time to shine.
Hobocop!
Dive into that dumpster for extra content.
Vänta, didn't I just have a premonition that there's something in there?
There is, but you won't like it.
Yes, I will like it.
Sweat forms on your brow. Your hand is still on the lid.
Nej, det kommer du inte alls göra, geten.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Okay. Dig in Hobocop style for extra content.
Wow, an armistice caliber 50 knock cannon. Half wrapped in paper tissues. So shiny. It's a giant rifle, and it's very expensive.
Nice!
Not as expensive as that fat string of pearls snaking around the rotten banana peels, however. And is that Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra F2 tubes?
What?
It is. That catches quite a price. We're talking 12,000. Easy. Unless you're into hi-fi yourself.
I sell it.
No, you won't. Because none of those things are real. They're not actually in there. All you see is food waste and crisp wrappings.
Förstår du? A cruel jest, there must be something.
All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron.
An antique.
Only in its social sensibility.
Take the mug. The lieutenant briefly gazes at the mug and returns his side to the trash.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Okay, look under the box and card.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow
Party
feels
money.
familiar.
Fick den snuskig mugg.
A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. And turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
Pick up the rags.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
Vi kommer säkert hitta någonting för att hjälpa till med vårt mod.
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans
Gå
begin
där.
to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaver odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer.
The lieutenant produced a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket.
Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but
He looks into the
the
container.
belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Reach for it!
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
This is a military type overgarment.
Bah,
No
med XP.
label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. Just garbage.
That's all I think.
All right. We should go to Garth again.
Who put
and
the
ask
clothes
if he
in-
knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
Vänta, or that one. He nods toward the red-haired boy behind him. I advise against confronting that force.
The fuck's he on about? Kids! You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See?
Yeah, we need to ask the kids to put them there. Okay.
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
Search for food waste.
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato
Alltså det är rätt
peeled
intressant här att
closely.
vi
Unidentified sludge.
har spelat ganska
and the
många timmar.
occasional
Vi har inte kommit
chip
egentligen. Det
thrown
känns
in
inte som vi har
for
kommit
But
någonstans.
hey,
Vi springer omkring och har underbar dialog överallt.
nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something.
Pick it up!
Something larger. A clipboard.
Damage
A
ledger.
blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes. Written in a man's handwriting.
Man's handwriting.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
I don't know what this is.
It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there.
The plastic has the orange, but you're gonna... A miserable look. Okay.
If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash?
I must have been... I must have been cramping my style. It has foreboding quality to it. Maybe I needed to lose it for the great bloodletting to begin. I think I didn't want to be a cop anymore. That's why I tried to flush my cop life down the toilet.
What are you talking about?
I speaketh the tongue.
Doeth thou also thorough inventories? You should take stock of your notes. Make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some of it has fallen into the hands of the RCM's adversaries, bloodletting may well ensue.
I don't know, sounds like an order. I don't take those.
I see, yes. You are what we call a
Badass.
aren't you?
He makes a little quotation marks around the words indicating he's unsure his actual badassery.
Well, went off script there. Getting your ass handed to you. You shouldn't go picking fights if your rhetorical faculties haven't suggested it.
Okay.
Tell me, seeth your badass more in there, or are we done here? Ah, yes, and it will also be appropriate to start taking notes on the case. It's what cops do.
Read your ledger and name the case.
Some items, such as the ledger you found,
Close the lid.
Container sounds a muffled gong.
Nu har vi några items att kolla upp här i vår...
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Ja, eller...
Tremble. The time is now. Taola.
Taola! What time?
Time for the show. For Taola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. All life will scream.
Alltså det här var ju väldigt bisarrt. What time? Taola. Because the instant ending... Okay. Wait, countdown?
Monday morning. The moment you arrived in this reality are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread. Ulogu Theodos, Xino Zausin, Ipoli Osidien, Echondes Fronisin.
Okej.
Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning.
Alltså jag tror han pratar ju Half-Light. Det är hans inre demoner som pratar med honom. I'm a little afraid. I do think the world might end soon. I'm going up to whatever it is.
It's totally also a coping mechanism. So you should be. The world island crumbles at your feet and in the far plain.
Perhaps. Just a thought. This has something to do with the hangover.
I think so. I do think the world might end soon. I'm going up for...
Okay, yes. Maybe it is just the hangover talking. Or some kind of joke you're
Det är för att vi inte har fått vår nya
playing
fix
instead
här
of
ännu.
working on the case.
Nu ska vi se här. Nu ska vi
There
försöka...
he still is, looking right through you.
Vi prövar.
With his
3%.
light. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth.
Let it
More
out!
instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from within.
Så ja! Vad räkarna från igår. Bra. Oj.
You feel a great force ringing from your stomach. Your body curls and pushes it out. Burst by burst.
Nu tar vi säkert damage här.
Until a pool of vomit lies under your feet. And your throat stings from the stomach acid.
Fucking corpse.
Keep it.
Thank you.
The hangover is clearly making these worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head.
You think ammonia would have? Where would I get ammonia from? I don't need that shit.
Sure you do. You just threw up a lot. If you can handle the headache, some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor.
But not you?
I can't handle the headache.
It's more likely he can handle the smell. Unlike you.
That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell. If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fridge store nearby.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
Quest. Nu ska vi kolla lite. Vi fick lite item loot här också. Interfacing, bye bugs. Fake latex gardening gloves in classic cannery yellow. Maybe you should retire. Taking up gardening as a hobby is worth a thought. Interfacing, okay. Items, nu ska vi se här. Lieutenant's handkerchief. 250. That's the handkerchief's given you by Lieutenant Kutsuragi. One corner is adorned with lace and tiny embroidered portiere. Okay, the mug. Okay. This broken eared mug someone made its way into the whirling in rags dumpster. It depict a person of Samaran descent, frolicking in a field of saffron flowers, buck-toothed, okay? X.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
Look at all that content.
Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
Okay, nu ska vi se. This mug is an example of prejudice. Ja, vi kör på det. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do. I'm going to push this into the face of every merchant I find and tell them this is your inane ideology. The mug will be useful. By denouncing it, I can earn political capital to mask my badass hustling. Fraud and embezzlement. The mug didn't belong in the trash. It was a funny mug. I can't anyone laugh anymore.
If you want to earn some change by guilting people, go for it. But if you want to earn real dough, finish the case and start getting paid again.
Paid! Whatever. Okej, då kollar vi det här då. Found in the trash ledger.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful
Kanske vi får lära oss vårt eget namn.
hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper. Desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard.
Ja, väldigt beskrivande text ibland alltså.
It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
Okej, intressant. Inspect the toilet paper!
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Maybe it's kitchen tissue. They look exactly the same. It's cool! It's cool!
Way cool.
Way cool! Vi fick 5 XP för det där.
It says, everyone look at me and my toilet paper covered cop ledger. I don't care. My ledger is droopy and it smells like a urinal.
Urinal. Okej, inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board,
Fan vad sjukt.
biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Run your finger across the aluminium.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
Nope.
It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That you can read these there?
Lieutenant, is this one of the hologram watermarks you mentioned?
What? Yes, halogen watermark is providing information to RCM property.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. Yes, RCM vehicles have had lights
Alltså, vi har...
especially to reveal halogen watermarks.
Vi får så mycket task hela tiden.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
0.
How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your
Okay,
hand,
browse the white
it's
paper.
a sorry sight. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible. Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Oh, 2 cases a week. Is 2 cases a week good caseload, Lieutenant? There is also mentioning of counter page. I have to open official case. Is there room? Okay, we got.
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it. Lest you start making mistakes.
2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I complete them though. Say anything.
Petty theft, spousal abuse, handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to
hur mycket är det som är viktigt av det här vi får reda på?
Commit to paper. These are your last couple of months in Revachol, Precinct 41, Jamrock Quarter. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary.
Du tror att det mesta är relevant på ett eller annat sätt?
Case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from
Det vill säga, det mesta är nonsens alltså. Typ. Wanna draw inspiration from the... Alltså för det...
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
The Unsolvable Case.
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected...
Jag måste skriva en polisrapport på detta. Att jag tar 2 fall i veckan och inte lyckas lösa någonting. Det är liksom, that's it.
It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done.
Okay, my case is prepared to employ some kind of naming convention. I have to open an official case. Is the room?
There is, for precisely more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
Okay, commit to paper.
Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event.
Kim, do you have a pen?
The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large caliber bullets on an ammo.
Fan vad vi snyltar på Kim.
It's downright incriminating. He has little choice but to give you one, although he really doesn't. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
You know you have to give one to me, right? Oh, ursäkta. That is how human society works, I believe. Can I have one?
Wordless, he pulls one from the loop and hands it to you.
Oblong.
The pen is cold, blue, and ready to write.
With this beauty, commit to paper!
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand uncannily similar to the rest
Vi
of
ska lösa alla fall vi hade.
wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body.
Okay.
Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Cross out the ones you have already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done, and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
We named the case. Du fick... jag ber om ursäkt, Marcus. Jag ber om ursäkt att jag fick dig att gäspa. Jag vet att jag har ett starkt inflytande och påverkan på de som tittar här. Jag beklagar. Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
Okej. The Hangman. Han hänger ju där i bakgrunden fortfarande. The furries are at home in the mirror. The setting sun. Shit on a stick. Shit on a stick.
Ah, yes. I have to tell you, officer, I don't appreciate ironic. Other officers will have to use this as reference. If it's idiot or cockfinger, they're not going to get it. They're going to think an idiot and a cockfinger were on this case. So, do you have something less funny?
Oh.
Fun is outlawed with this guy. What a knock!
Min slips börjar prata med mig. Fun is outlawed. The furries are at home in the mirror.
Furies? Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that refers to. And also, could you make it less poetic? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good normal name?
A good normal name?
Yes, yes, you know what that normal name is, but it's so plain. Anything else, please.
Okay, it's a good name, but it has one problem. This case has nothing to do
Kim är
with
tråkig som
at all. It has
som
nothing to
fan
do
i det här
with-
spelet.
So, something more concrete, perhaps? Do you have something concrete, mundane?
Usual is boring. We don't do that.
We don't do that, the hangman.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good strong name.
Jag tror liksom att det där som man hänger i kommer gå sönder.
I'm going to start calling
Oh,
it the
30
Hanged
XP.
Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Kim, all my cases employ a naming convention similar to our use and ours.
Yes, how very childish of you. In your and my defense, almost everyone in the RCM uses the titular system, in addition to the official alphanumeric. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
It seems to have named case the Square Bullet Hole Murders. The Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself.
Hole in the head.
I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
You don't exactly close them. So much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Okay, schysst. Okay. Browse the case file. Kim explained the system. Can I read the case files now? Browse the yellow page. Okay, vi prövar där. Logic.
Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41. Then, date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the next world mural. Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
HBD.
Every last alphanumeric
5
in
XP
the
till.
files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
I'm not feeling them.
Feeling isn't really the jurisdiction we're in right now. Probably for the best. Because HDB feels like
Bad news.
bad news from yesteryear. Like shit, honcho.
How long does it take to read a case?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
Jag vet inte.
Murder. Tum 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 at the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor.
Hookah parlor. Wait, huh?
Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner JM, only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad
Ska det ta
story
30 minuter här
and
varje
isn't really
case file?
represented in your case
Så kan det inte
files.
vara.
Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah parlor. Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister. Was on it for, like, a month. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Tough. Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it.
Jag orkar inte lyssna på det här.
No, it's... Yeah, no one... Mills. See?
I fick 5
You
XP.
can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Smoking hookah.
Så, okej.
Didn't you
Bye
hear?
Spice. Så.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile.
Read the
A
case.
bunch of
Browse the
solid
yellow
paper.
papers. Så.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields. But they appear pleasantly vague. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for
Smell the ledger!
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM.
What did you say the color was? Shake the ledger.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a
What?
hidden compartment? Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it.
Peek inside.
The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board.
Open the hidden compartment in the board. Okej, nu håller vi tummarna.
Is not what you end up doing. You squeeze the plastic to slide it open, but nothing happens. Then you bend it some. Then crack it. The goddamn thing is stuck.
Shit.
The ledger quivers in your hand. As it shakes, the pages rustle. This pathetic mess suddenly afraid of you for some reason.
Okej, put the ledger down. Interact, vad var det där nu? Bowling på price 28. Pen, come inside no one rest me.